comment, and subscribe. Yeah. We have a lot to talk about. Very interesting information. Appears to be a situation going on. We got to talk about this because it speaks volumes to the problems going on in America right now when it comes to racism. And it's not just on the side of white people. It's also on the side of black people. You know, when I cover these stories, I'm normally the only one who is fair and balanced when it comes to dealing with this type of content. Now, on social media, a lot of people hate me because I speak the truth. One thing I don't like is hypocrisy. One thing I don't like is people who express their racism, but then when it's convenient for them, you know, they're attacking other people as well. So the way I'm going to deal with this particular topic is I'm going to kind of kill two birds with one stone. The FBA community, right? They hate white people with a passion, right? They're racist in and of themselves. And what I notice about this particular story here is this woman is also a racist because she called a black autistic child the N-word. But now it gets even more interesting because the black autistic child is actually Somalian, which make that child, according to FBA, a tether. So what I'm trying to figure out is why this YouTuber is making videos talking about the white racist woman calling an autistic child the N-word when that child is not his people. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. And this is what I mean about selective outrage and how blacks express their racism just because they hate whites, but when it's convenient for them, they hate blacks. Because in the FBA community, they consider anyone who is not born in America and come from, you know, slavery in America and all this other stuff, they call them tethers. So if you're African, if you're Jamaican, if you're Panamanian, and whatever you are considered a tether. So the autistic child in question would be also considered a tether. But yet you'll be called a coon if you defend a white person. So I'm trying to figure this out. Do FBA defend tethers too when it's convenient? When they really don't even like them as well? And this is why as viewers, when you view this kind of content, ladies and gentlemen, you got to pay attention to how content creators flip-flop. They flip-flop. And my job is just to expose everybody. My job is just to call out all the frauds, everybody that's capitalizing off of racism. So when you see black people, right, defending tethers, right? Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really care what your nationality is. I'm not here to call you names. I'm not here to call you tethers. What I'm trying to say is that these individuals, these racist blacks, they call anyone that is white, if you are from the Caribbean, if you're Jamaican, Trinidadian, Guyanese, Haitian, Dominican, they call you a tether. So a Somali would be a tether as well. So my question to the FBA community is, why is this guy defending a tether? Why is this guy standing up against racism against a tether if FBA is against the tethers? Because I'm being called a tether as well. So I'm trying to figure this out. Why the selective outrage? Unless that individual thought that because the child was black, that it automatically made them FBA. Do you see that? So now let's get into the content. What we're talking about is this particular animal that's on the screen, this racist, this beast, this particular person attacked a child. And see, again, on my platform, ladies and gentlemen, I fight for the justice of all people, not just black people, all people. and I'm fair and balanced. This racist was able to raise literally millions. Well, not millions, literally almost $1 million, over $600,000 she was able to raise, guys. Check this out. Over $624,000 she raised for calling a Somali child. I believe the child is about 5 years old. And she was able to raise $600,000 for being racist. That is how it is in this land, bro. Ain't that something? Now, again, I need for everyone to pay attention to context. When you come to this platform, right, we're not racist. I need to make that very clear, because on social media, you have all of these bandwagons and groups that love to express their racism and hate against me for speaking the truth, because I'm the only platform that actually stands for justice for all people. I understand we got racists in the world. I understand we got bigots and black folk that are racist and white folk that are racist and people just hate each other all damn day. I get it. At the same time, when I do my content, I focus on justice for all people. And this child is 5 years old and they're autistic. A lot of you parents out there have children that are autistic. So this white woman who is a racist attacked a child by assuming the child was stealing from her 18-month-old, not realizing that kids are going to be kids. Sometimes kids grab other kids' toys, even their clothing, and bring it home. Sometimes kids take another kid's hat in school and bring the hat home, and mom got to be like, where you get this hat from? Oh, I forgot it in my book bag, or I was wearing it, or that's how kids act. But even worse is the child has autism. So why would she resort to calling the child the N-word? Why would she resort to calling the child an N-word and went on a racist tantrum? Like, it's just disgusting that people actually supported this type of evil. Think about this, guys. She had a GoFundMe page that was removed. I guess they must have got the GoFundMe page shut down. But her goal, guys, is $1 million. When I tell you I am so tired of how you folks support evil, it's unbelievable. A person can start something that is positive and nobody support it. A person can be a racist and garner up $624,000, guys. You mean to tell me the white community gave this damn dog $624,000 for attacking a child? For attacking a child. I'm telling you, the world we're in is evil. The world we're in is evil. And again, it's evil on both sides. It's evil on the white side, and it's evil on the black side. The problem with the black side is they don't like to admit they hate white people too. You understand? What I support is truth. I'm not on neither side. I'm neutral. I focus on justice. And in this case, this is an injustice to award a woman $600,000. $600,000, guys. You set her life on the nice path right here. You made her a good day. You gave her, she got a come up, and she got multiple fundraisers going. This is sick. Absolutely sick, man. It goes on in her caption. It says, and this particular person is named Shiloh Hendrix or something along those lines. She says, help me protect my family. Imagine, help me protect my family when she's a racist. Think about that. And for all the black folk that's in the building, I need for you to understand, the child that's in question is not a so-called black child. The child is Somali. You understand? So to all you FBA hypocrites that hate me and love to call me a tether, I want to know why your man is making videos defending tethers. Y'all got to call this out. Don't be a hypocrite. All of you FBA folk that hate Ringo TV, that call me a coon, that call me a Sambo, that call me all these other names, when have it ever been appropriate for FBAs to defend Somalis? Because Somalis would be considered tethers according to the FBA doctrine. Now, you know that I'm right, but a lot of you hypocrites are not going to call out your boy and say, you know what, Ringo, you right. You definitely right. And that's the problem. That's the issue. Because the Somali group, would they come forward to defend you? Has they ever come to defend you? No. They defend themselves. But what happens a lot of times with black folk that are in America because they're hypocrites is if they see a white person who is clearly a racist, they will have selective outrage and begin to capitalize off of the situation, not realizing they're defending another group of people that don't even support them or their cause. And that's the case with this situation. I want to know from the FBA community why you guys are supporting tethers, yet you hate tethers. You hate Jamaicans, you hate Panamanians, you laugh at these people, you make fun of them, and they're black people, but yet your man is defending a Somali child. I want to know what's going on. Something ain't adding up here. It's like you have selective outrage, and you keep talking about what a tether is. No, a tether is anybody that's outside of your group. I've already seen all your videos. I've seen the racism. I've seen the hatred. Think about this, guys. If you're a FBA and you believe that if somebody undermine you or some nonsense that you're talking about, that makes them a tether, isn't that a racial slur? Which would make you a racist. Do you see that? It doesn't make you no different than this woman who's a racist. So you're both racist. At the end of the day, you're both full of hate. You hate anybody that you feel don't like you. Okay, so she feel the way she feel. So you're equal. You're both racist. The only difference is she's getting support for it. You know what I mean? Is it right what she did? Of course not. But let's not be a hypocrite. Racism is on both sides. And that's the sick part about this. You know, the sick part about this is that blacks in America are racist too. And they act like they don't do these things. They act like they don't have hatred for other people. They act like they don't weaponize social media to express their hatred. And then when you speak on these issues, they just call you a coon. They just call you a Sambo. Well, you could call me whatever you want. I really don't care, because you folks that hate me, you don't support me. The people that support me, they rock with my platform. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let me shout out some support. Shout out to Forever Studios for the $50 support. All right? Again, make sure you hit the like button on the video, man. Stop being a hater of the platform, because a lot of you folks, you're just haters at the end of the day. You don't like to hear the truth. You want everybody to jump on your bandwagon, but when we balance out the playing field, for some reason, you don't like that. The woman in question here is a racist. She's a beast, an animal. She's wicked. She should be put in prison for attacking a child, an autistic child, whether the child is Somali or whatever the case is. It doesn't matter. The whole point is she's weaponizing racism and she's capitalizing off of it. She's making a heck of a lot of money, you know? And I don't like the hypocrisy on the FBA side. I don't like this kind of hypocrisy, guys. Because again, when you study this situation, right, if you look at the caption and the description, it says, racist white female Karen calls black child. He didn't say Somali. He said black child, which means in his mind, he believed the child is a so-called FBA. Nobody could tell me that he didn't know that. Nobody could tell me that he knew, oh, the child is Somali. Because if he knew that, he would have never made the video. He assumed that it's a black American child Because if it wasn't, he wouldn't put black. Because Somalis don't call themselves black. They call themselves Somali. You see the difference? So my thing is, why is it that FBAs can be hypocrites in defending tethers? Because Somalis don't support FBA. They don't. Nobody support FBA according to FBAs. That's why they call them tethers. So my thing is, and I need this question answered, is why the FBA community support content creators that are flip-floppers, content creators that defend so-called tethers. I thought tethers were the enemy. That's what I thought. I thought tethers were the enemy. I thought tethers were the problem. Remember, you call me tethers, even though I'm American. My mom is Panamanian. My pops is American. He was born in America. He served in the U.S. Army. He was an Army vet. But I'm still called a tether because they don't like the fact that I talk about topics they don't agree with. So technically, I'm not a tether, but this is what they call me because I'm black. So I get hated by black people all day. I get hated by black racists all day. So I'm not surprised when I see this type of hypocrisy. Look, if you're going to be FBA and stand on what you believe in. But don't be a hypocrite. Please don't come out here trying to defend Somali kids by calling them black kids just to further your racism against white people. Yes, the woman is a racist. Yes, and I'm not defending her either. My point is, the content creator is weaponizing his own hatred for white people by making black people believe that they're attacking one of their own. No, she attacked a Somali. She did not attack an FBA. She attacked a Somali child. So my question to the FBA community is, do you love Somalis? Are Somalis your people? Because if they are, why would you call them tethers? Man, I got y'all literally by y'all neck right now. Y'all can't stand it. My father's American, but I don't claim FBA because I don't want to be a part of your racist club. That's the difference between me and you. I'm not no FBA. I don't claim your group. I don't claim your religion. I don't claim your hate group. I don't claim none of that mess because it's all hate. You know what I mean? Y'all literally following something that Tariq Nasheed put together. None of you would even be calling yourself foundational black Americans if Tariq Nasheed didn't instill that mess in your mind. You're searching for an identity that a man created for you. And that's sad. That's the sad part about this, is that you cannot argue against what I just said. If Tariq Nasheed never programmed your mind and your brain, you wouldn't even know to call yourself that. It makes you feel good to call yourself that. But that is not in the Bible. And if you really believe that you're a foundational black American, why do you look at Jamaicans and Trinidadians and Panamanians and everybody else as tethers? They're black people too. So what you're practicing is racism. You're no different than the woman on the screen. You're no different. And that's the problem with this society, is that you guys are following these organizations that are full of hate. You're full of hate and you don't want to admit that you're a hater. We got so many problems in the black community, and yet we're fighting each other and finding ourselves. It's one thing to be against the enemy when they're attacking you, but to be fighting against yourselves while acting as if though you're righteous is sick. It's sick. You cannot complain about Karens and racist people from other ethnic groups when you hate your own people with a passion. All of the hate I get come from black people. All of it. You know what I'm saying? And I live in a community where there's a lot of white people too. And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of racists in my community. And guess what? I don't care because I don't talk to them. That's the difference between me and you. I know that people don't like me. And I can recognize a racist a mile away. I just don't interact with them. I don't talk to them. I don't say good morning to them. I don't say hello to them. I don't say nothing to them because I know they don't like me. I stay to myself and I stay out of the way. Because this world is evil on both sides, the black side and the white side. Everybody's a racist in today's day. And it's sick. I got people that are sometimers in my community that one minute you're having a conversation with them and next minute they just stop talking to you. So I'm like, listen, man, at the end of the day, I'm just going to stay to myself. I'm not saying nothing to nobody no more. That's my word, bro. Like real talk. The only way I would talk to anybody in the community I live in moving forward is if they say something to me. But other than that, I'm not saying nothing to nobody because people have, I guess people, they switch up on you. You know what I'm saying? Like one minute somebody can act like they communicating with you and everything can look like they cool. And next minute they might have some issues with you. So I'm like, listen, man, you stay to yourself. I'll stay to myself, bro. I don't got no time. I don't got no time with this flip-flopping, playing games. So that's why I keep telling you that you could be black and live in a nice community and it could be filled with racists. You know what I'm saying? I got all kinds of people that live in this community, guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't say nothing to nobody, and nobody better not say nothing to me getting out of pocket. It's going to be on and popping straight up because I'm not playing with nobody. You know what I mean? But one thing I don't like is a hypocrite. You know, you can't be out here hating your own people and then you want to talk about other people that are racist. And the problem in the black community is that there's no love, absolutely none. We hate each other with a passion. We're quick to point out the white woman for calling a Somali the N-word, but we call each other N-words every day in the black community. What kind of madness is that? What kind of madness is it that in the black community, we can call each other N-words all day? We can make rap music with N-words all day. We could watch movies with N-words all day, but there's no outrage for that. If we're gonna have outrage, let's have outrage for everything. Bunch of damn hypocrites. We can watch movies that are produced by the movie industry, Hollywood, that have the N-word in the movies all day. How come black people, how come FBAs are not protesting the music industry, protesting the movie industry so that they can stop using the N-word? Let's stop the selective outrage. Let's stop acting like because what this white woman said was so horrible that we got to go on a full-fledged war. But yet, when it comes to everyday politics, when it comes to everyday watching TV, watching Netflix, we hear the N-word all the time. We hear black actors using it, white actors using it, and it's allowed and it's perfectly okay. Why? Because it's a movie. So it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. The word should be banned from everybody. It should be a criminal felony to even utter the word. Why isn't it against the law? Why aren't people put in prison for using that word? Why? Why is it acceptable in some spaces and not in others? Since when has it become normalized in the black community that it's okay for us to call each other N-words, but it's not for white folk? I don't get that logic. It don't make sense. It really don't make sense that you guys can literally call each other the N-word every day, but get pissed off and angry at a white person for doing it. Am I saying she's not a racist? No, she is a full-blown racist. She's disgusting. You know what I mean? We know that already. I'm disgusted with the people that raised all the money. I'm disgusted by you folks who gave this woman $624,000 for calling a Somali child the N-word. That's crazy. Even more crazy is that Somalis get upset when you call them the N-word because in their mind, they're like, well, we're not N-words. You're calling the wrong people N-words. Because there's racism in all groups. I've seen Somalis that are very racist towards American blacks. I've seen it all. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out why this guy was defending a Somali child when most Somalis don't even acknowledge so-called African Americans or what you want to call FBAs. They don't even acknowledge you. They don't even see you as important. So I'm trying to figure out why he wasted his time defending a child that is not FBA. That's hypocrisy right there, fam. I don't care what nobody say. You can't go around calling people coons and sambos and you out here defending a Somali child. That don't make sense. This woman should be locked up and in prison. Everybody should be ashamed for even donating. Let's see what she says in her caption, man. She says, "My name is Shiloh, and I have been put in a very dire situation." No, you put yourself there. "I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park." Now, notice what she said, man, that she had a kid that steal. You see how they see black people? Now, we know the child is Somali. We know that. But what I'm trying to show you is how white folk, or at least most white racists, see black folk. This is how they see your children. So if they see your children like this, how much more do they see you as an adult? Because last time I checked, we give children a pass. Children always get a pass, no matter what. Kids are going to be kids. I can recall when I was in New York and my girls were playing in the park. And you could say in Brooklyn, the park we went to is considered the white side of the area. And I'm pretty sure most of you have those kind of areas. And it was a park that more white people would go to. And I remember my kids were playing by the swings and you had a white boy that was playing there. So you know how kids are. They go play with other kids. So my girls, they went playing with the white boy, and the white boy and them is playing. Everybody's having a great old time. You know, kids are kids. Kids don't look at race. Kids don't look at color. They just see toys and having fun and playing. That's all kids do, right? So here come the mom. She calling her son over. She called the son over. The son comes, says, "Okay, I'm coming, mommy." The son come over there. She tells the little boy, "Don't play with those kids." What? That's exactly what she told the little boy, guys. Because one of my daughters kind of followed him back to his mom and just kind of overheard the conversation. And she came back and told me, "Dad, the woman said for him not to play with us." And I already knew what that was. She's just a racist dog. You know what I mean? And see, this is where children learn racism. They learn it from their mothers and their fathers. So basically, I just packed up my girls and said, "Let's go home." Because I never went back to that park. I never went back to that side of that area. I just stayed in the hood park. You know what I'm saying? Where it's safe, where they don't have to be around a bunch of damn racists. It was disgusting because the kids were playing and her son had no issues. Her son wasn't racist. Her son was just a regular kid. Kids have fun. They learn this type of behavior from their parents. When you see a child, like recently they had a situation where you had a young child, they were writing on the wall and they wrote the N-word on a wall. Some of y'all probably seen some viral video of that recently. And it was big news. The thing is, the child is innocent. They learn the behavior from their parents. That's where they learn the behavior from. So I'm not surprised by what this woman is doing. She learned her behavior from her parents. She never liked black people. There are white people that most likely live around me right now that don't like black people. And that's cool. If you don't like black people, that's your prerogative. You know what I mean? That it is what it is. Just don't come at me or my kids with any sort of drama, because it's going to be on and popping. I don't play. You know what I mean? I'm not playing with nobody. I will go to prison for my family in a heartbeat, especially for my kids. You fuck with my kids, it's over for you. I'm going to prison and I don't care. And you could clip the video too, because I don't care. I don't play when it comes to kids. You know what I mean? So for this woman to call a child the N-word, it just goes to show the hatred that is in her heart, the hatred that's in her mind. And you know what they were trying to do? They were trying to demonize the guy that was recording her. They were trying to demonize the guy that was recording the video. The Somali guy that recorded the video did a good job. They were calling the Somali guy a predator. Could you believe that? They were calling the Somali guy a predator on social media. saying, who is he? He have no right to intervene. I'm like, wow. So let me get this straight. We see a child in distress, we don't intervene? If I see any child in distress, I'm going to help. That's a child. Doesn't matter who they are. I'm not going to look and say, oh, the child is Somali, I'm going home. Oh, the child is white, I'm going home. No, if I see anybody, if I see a child screaming and you have some guy trying to drag the kid in a van, I'm going over there and I'm putting the dude in a box. You could do that in North Carolina. You see a man trying to abduct a child by putting that child in a so-called van, you could put him in a fucking box immediately. No cap. Because you ain't gonna abduct no child. That child is in danger. His life is in danger. So at that moment, you got your Second Amendment. You put that dude, you put him away because you're doing the right thing. You ain't gonna let him get away and torture that child and molest that child sexually. No, it's not going down. Not on my watch. And I'm pretty sure you have many men in communities that stand on that same principle. You mess around with the kids in the community, you going in a box. It's just that simple. We're not gonna tolerate that type of mess. So for the Somali guy that stood up for the child, salute to you. You did the right thing. But what's going on social media is they calling the man a pedophile. They're saying that he's a child molester, that he was at the park looking for kids. They literally demonizing this man for doing the right thing. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that sick? Let me get back to the caption here. So she says, my name is Shiloh and I'm going to read it straight through. My name is Shiloh and I have been put in a very dire situation. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was. Another man who we recently found out has a history with law enforcement proceeded to record me and followed me to my car. He then posts these videos online, which has caused my family and myself great turmoil. My social security number has been leaked. My address and phone number have been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. My eldest child may not be going back to school. Even where I exercise has been exposed. I am asking for your help to assist in protecting my family. I fear that we must relocate. I have 2 small children who do not deserve this. We have been threatened to the extreme by people online. Anything will help. We cannot and will not live in fear. Thank you. Imagine this demon. Imagine this racist can do evil and literally play the victim. Imagine this mess. Imagine this, guys. This is how sick the world is. She's telling you that she's living in fear when she traumatized an autistic child. Imagine a grown adult calling a 5-year-old the N-word and the child is autistic. Imagine that. Imagine how you feel as a parent who deal with children that have autism, and you got to deal with a lot of responsibilities. You got to deal with a lot. My heart goes out to you because you got to deal with a heck of a lot. And yet you got this animal that would go this low on a child. So how much more hate does she have for adult blacks or adult anyone that's melanated, that have dark skin? She hates them with a passion. You see? And see, here's the thing, guys. Although I'm fair and balanced, although I speak truth to power and defend everyone and stand for justice, I'm not dumb when it comes to how white folk feel about blacks. I judge a man by their character, which means when I look at you, my mind already done told me you're full of hate. So I got to kind of get to know you and your character to see how true you really are. But until then, you're a racist in my book. And guess what? The same apply to blacks. Just because you're black doesn't make you a brother. Just because you're black doesn't make you a sister. Because I don't like ninjas. I don't like fakes. I don't like hypocrites that act like we brothers and sisters, but behind the scenes, you hate me with a passion too. So on both sides, we got racists. On both sides. Just because you black and have melanated skin does not automatically make us brothers and sisters. It doesn't. Because how you treat one another determines that. You see how that goes? Just because you have neighbors doesn't mean they're neighbors. Everybody around you is not a neighbor. You have racists, you have killers, you have all sorts of crazy people that live around you, narcissists, a bunch of weirdos. And they're all around. And they hate you with a passion. They hate every time they see you. Every time they see you come in and out of your house, they're mad at you. They don't like seeing you drive. They don't like seeing your car. They don't like seeing you happy. They don't like seeing nothing you do. When they see you mow your lawn, they get upset. Why? Because in their mind, you're not supposed to have nothing. And that goes for white or black. Do you understand me? But now let's look at this clip real quick and find out some more information.
You call him a child? Did you call the child the N-word?
If you want to know what to do, I have updates on Shiloh Hendrix, the adult woman I'm sure we've all heard by now who attacked a black autistic child on the playground for taking one of her kids' toys, something children often do. And now she's going mega viral on alt-right Twitter. Here you can see she's doubling down on calling the kid the N-word. And she's now successfully raised over $500,000 on Give, Send, Go because we did successfully get her GoFundMe taken down. She's doubling down on what she did to that child. Oh, and the adults trying to intervene afterwards that she also started racially attacking. She's now profiting off of racism, and some of the comments are truly horrific. But if you want a more in-depth dive on all of that, I will link Tizzy Ent's video below. And I highly recommend you go.
Why is this person in the live chat, Olivia, going off talking about, what the heck you talking about? None of you, what is this? Not none of you can tell me what the first commandment of God is. What the heck? Why are you here? What is your problem? What exactly is your problem? Is this a religious service here? Or are we talking about a white racist that called the child the N-word? If you want to know the first commandment, go look in the Bible. Like, see, this is why I can't deal with religious people, guys. This is why I can't deal with these Christians or these black Hebrew Israelites, because religion is the biggest problem in the world. And what's so crazy is everybody that's talking about the Bible don't even follow the Bible. Because they express hate towards other people when they don't agree with them. It's like, you know, the Bible says, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. But yet, if I respond to this individual, let's see how they respond to me. Let's see if they practice the Bible. They won't practice the Bible because they don't follow the Bible. Let's get back to the show. Let's go.
That. And a lot of people are asking, well, what do we do now? Yes, there is a report button on Give, Send, Go, but unfortunately, the founders of Give, Send, Go are public figures, and their mission for founding this site is to support horrible campaigns like that were removed off of GoFundMe, roughly. And I want to be clear again, all of this is public information that was found in like 5 minutes by just looking them up. Heather Wilson and Jacob Wells, I believe they are married and they foster children. And they were huge supporters and fundraisers for people like Kyle Rittenhouse. If you go look at their public profiles, they're not hiding anything. They're very proud of all of this. They get invited to a lot of events because of this. And I think it's always important to note that she's a very big fan of Candace Owens. But yes, these are the two public figures I'm most concerned about because they do this type of thing on the regular. But it's also important to note that the Rochester branch of the NAACP has their own GoFundMe to try and protect this 5-year-old child and their family. Because obviously, due to all of this going mega viral over on Twitter, this child and their family are the actual ones at risk here. I think it's really unfortunate how swiftly the alt-right has shown they can organize and show up for each other. And we need to start doing the same, so I highly recommend you like, share, comment, boost this, and get the word out and go check this out.
Just think about how evil this world is, bro. This world is so sick, man. It's like, that's why I just stay to myself, guy. And that's why, listen, I'm not on nobody's side, bro. I'm on the Most High side. Let's put it like that. I'm on the Most High side. That's it. I'm on the side of truth. Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody's a racist. You know what I mean? The black side is racist when they ready. The white side is racist when they ready. And they support their own. That's why this woman was able to raise $624,000. You don't get that kind of support from people that believe in justice. You get that kind of support from racists. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing that a lot of people been thinking in their heart too. So for her to call the child the N-word, the people who donated her feel the same way. They feel the same exact way. Let me pack up this troll, man. I'm tired of seeing you in my live chat. You got to go. Get out of here. Get out, get out, get out. Just running your mouth. You're not making any sense. You're just, what are you here for? If you don't like the content, if you don't like what I'm talking about, go start your own platform and run your damn mouth. Let's see how many people view. Nobody ain't going to view. That's how easy you shut the racists up. That's how easy you get them out of the way. You just ignore them and get them out of the way. We don't have time to entertain nonsense. You know what I mean? If you ain't standing for truth, don't even waste your time coming here, because I don't got no time to be in none of that nonsense. You know what I mean? This woman here is wicked for what she did to a child. And it seems as though other people, right, that have their own sick ulterior motives, they're not focused on justice. They're focused on talking about me. Why? Because they don't got nothing better to do, because they're a racist too. And that's the problem with this sick world. You have a lot of people that be acting like they're good human beings, but they come out of the woodworks when real information comes out. You get it? When real information come out, their racism comes out. None of these people serve God, but they're acting like they're for God. A bunch of damn hypocrites. All the people who donated to that woman are racist. All of them. That shows how sick the world is, guys. When you walk through these streets, as bad as it sounds, you got to assume anybody that is not your people is a racist, bro. There's no other way around it. That's how I look at situations, man. I got to know, listen, I got to know your character before I could take you serious. Because as far as I'm concerned, you're just another racist. I see it every day. And that's why I stay to myself. Stay to myself, keep it moving, stay out of the way. That's why I'm staying away from everybody. Because it's too much hate in the world. You going around calling children N-words is sick, and people supporting that now? You would have thought this woman would have been locked up for abuse of a child that has autism. Let's see what the New York Post have to say. I'm on a New York Post reading something. Let me check this out. Let me check how much money she made so far. Let me go look at the GoSend. Okay, so right now it jumped a couple of more thousands. Now it's at 600. It's at $629,581 now. She's literally gaining over $20,000 probably every hour. She's gaining a lot of money, guys. They literally are filling her pockets up, and she won $1 million. Imagine you're talking about you need to relocate and people giving you $1 million. That's sick. Absolutely sick. Let's read what the New York Post have to say. Okay. It says Minnesota mom ranks in over 500K after calling boy with autism the N-word. It goes on and says, a Minnesota woman caught on a viral video calling an autistic child the N-word is painting herself as the victim and has ranked in more than 500,000 in an online fundraiser after declaring her personal information has been leaked because of the incident. Shiloh Hendrix identified herself as the mother caught on camera this week hurling the vile slur at a 5-year-old boy she allegedly caught riffling through her bag at a playground in Rochester, about 90 minutes south of Minneapolis. Hendrix can then be seen in the clip turning her air and profanity on the black man who confronted her and filmed the incident. When Sharmaki Omar asked Hendrix if she's flung the vile slur at the child, she told him, yeah, the clip showed. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, she also was calling the Somali guy the N-word as well. You know what I mean? She was calling him the N-word as well. I have the unedited video, but I'm not going to put it on here. I would have to bleep out the slurs and whatnot. So it goes on and it says, he took, and this is what the woman is saying, he took my son's stuff, quote, she declared. Omar, 30, pressed the blonde woman who was carrying a child on her hip and asked if digging through her belongings would justify using a racial slur against a child. If that's what he's going to act like, she said before repeating the slur several times at Omar while he recorded. Thousands of people online condemn Hendrix for using the hateful language, especially against a child. The boy is autistic, Omar told NBC News, adding his parents, who are from Somalia, were supervising their 3 other children on the playground at the time of the incident. That little boy was visibly upset by the incident, Omar, who also has Somalian heritage, but is not related to the boy, told the outlet. So as you can see, the young child that is 5 years old is from Somalia. So he's not a black American child. He's Somalian. So when you see FBAs defending the child, you got to question that and be like, I thought they're tethers. So it's kind of funny to me that I'm considered a tether by the FBAs because of my content and what I talk about. But yet FBAs are defending tethers when it's convenient because they thought they were black. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing when people get caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and then when you give them the truth, they'll find a way to justify why they did what they did, rather than just saying, you know what, you got me, Ringo. You got me, bro. So it goes on and it says, during the confrontation, Hendrix allegedly told him he and his wife shouldn't have more children because they are a drain on the welfare system. Wow, that's crazy. More racial attacks, assuming that he's on welfare. Hendrix has since proclaimed herself victim of an attack, asserting online that the viral video has put her family in jeopardy. Do you see how racists always play the victim? It's amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. It goes on and it says, I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was. The woman identifying herself, as Hendrix, wrote in a crowdsourcing post. Another man who we recently found out has had a history in law enforcement proceeded to record me and followed me to my car. He then posts these videos online, which has caused my family and myself great turmoil, she wrote, referring to Omar. My social security has been leaked. My address, my phone number has been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. My eldest child may not be going back to school. Even where I exercise have been exposed. Hendrix claimed she believed she must relocate herself and her 2 children to escape threats stemming from the internet, and has asked for $1 million to make the move. Imagine that, guys. Somebody come online asking you for $1 million so they can move. Imagine that. It says, as of early Saturday, more than $525,000 has been raised. I'm telling you, the world we live in is evil. It's evil. It's absolutely sick. So it goes on and it says, while Hendrix claimed in the post that Omar has a history of problems with law enforcement, state court records show she has multiple convictions of her own. Wow, isn't that amazing, guys? So she was trying to put out Omar, the Somali guy, as though he have a criminal past. Isn't that what white racists love to do? Anytime a white racist has an issue with anybody that is melanated, dark, or whatever the case is, they always try to find a file on you. But what the New York Post is saying here is that while Hendrix claimed in the post that Omar has a history of problems with law enforcement, state court records show she has multiple convictions of her own, including driving under the influence, disorderly conduct, and brawling. The Rochester Police Department said Friday it was investigating the matter after receiving multiple calls relating to the video. It goes on and says, "This isn't racism, it's a public reckoning for Carmelo Anthony getting paid $500K to kill a white child while no one flinch. Shiloh raised money for a slur is just a mirror, and what it reflects is a society that rewards certain narratives, buries others, and calls it justice." I guess somebody quoted that. Minnesota law defines one type of assault as an action taken with the intent to cause fear. It would be considered a misdemeanor. The boy's parents has expressed support for prosecution, according to Omar. Neither Omar nor Hendrix could be immediately reached for a comment by the New York Post. On Friday, the Minnesota Democratic delegation commended Omar for standing up to Hendrix, even as she continued to spew hate. "We condemn these vile acts of racism in the strongest way possible. This disgusting rhetoric has no place in our community, and we're grateful that a bystander took action and prevented further escalation by the predatory, the perpetrator, the group said in a statement. Some online commentators claim Hendrix fundraising from the incident was a public reckoning after the family of Texas teen Carmelo Anthony, who is black, raised more than $500,000 following his arrest for allegedly fatally stabbing a white teen. And see, this all goes back to the Carmelo Anthony case, which how the Carmelo Anthony case have divided America. Number one, it brought out the racists in everybody. It brought out a bunch of hate in everyone. Not everyone, because some people are neutral and they understand right from wrong. But for the most part, the Carmelo Anthony case is a sick case. And because of that, we're seeing new cases and new crimes and new things happening and people raising money. Everybody's getting rich overnight. It goes on and says Anthony has claimed self-defense, even though his case was not self-defense. I mean, you just can't pull out a knife and stab somebody in the heart because they put their hands on you. That's not warranted of self-defense in terms of using deadly force. If anything, you can fight the person. You can use equal force, but to pull out a knife would only be justified if the person pulled out a knife, a gun, or you felt your life was in danger, meaning you knew there was a threat that you were going to possibly die. And that's not going to happen when it's at a sporting event, at a track meet. It's just not going to happen. Eventually, people are going to break up the fight. But in this case, he had a knife ready and prepared to kill, you know? And because of that, it's like it just caused the internet to just go crazy. And people started losing their minds. And now it's like an all-out war of racism and hatred. So now when people see cases like this, the black community will jump on board and be like, wow, this racist woman attacked a black child, not realizing that the black child is Somali. Now, here's the thing. Even if the child is Somali, I'm going to still defend the child because a child is a child. The context in which I'm speaking from is coming from these hate groups online called FBA. If you know anything about these hate groups, they specialize in attacking anybody that is not a part of their religious group, their so-called heritage, their so-called lineage, or whatever they want to call it. And what they do is they call everybody a tether that is not related. So if you don't have a mother, the way it goes is like this. In order for you to be an FBA, right, your daddy have to be an American and his bloodline have to trace back to the American slave trade, right? That's just the way it got to be in order for you to be FBA. Or if both of your parents are American. But now if your parents are immigrants, right, they're considered tethers. That's just the way they move. So don't let them manipulate you in making you believe that, well, a tether is anybody that undermine FBAs. No, a tether is anyone that is outside of FBA. Let's just call it what it is. So in that regard, I'm trying to figure out why this guy made a video defending a Somali child when that Somali child is not FBA. I want to know. I want to know, why is it that this gentleman is defending a Somali child if the Somali child is considered a tether and have tether parents? There got to be a line where you stand on business and you keep it real with the people. You can't be fake. Because if that's the case, then FBAs shouldn't be calling people tethers. They shouldn't be doing that. You know, they should be focusing on showing everybody love and showing everybody respect. You can't have, selective outrage when it's convenient just because it's a white woman who's a racist. We know the white woman is a racist, but don't come out here being a hypocrite, defending a Somali child as if though they're Black American when they're not. You know, it don't make no sense. That's just a sick thing that people actually do. You know what I mean? And for everybody that's in the chat, man, ignore the trolls, bro. When you ignore the trolls, that's what caused them to die out. You know what I'm saying? We got more important things to do. I'm a grown man. Anybody that's sitting around wasting their damn time, not making no money and just sitting around being stupid, right? Then that's their life. You know, they're only projecting who they are, right? A lot of times we be entertaining stuff that makes no sense. Right? We're focusing on business right now. We're focusing on real work, content. These people are not content creators. So at the end of the time, they're just regurgitators and imitators and narcissists and demons. And you don't give fuel to their fire. You just let them sit there and die off. Right? So now, getting back to the case here, what I don't like is the hypocrisy that's in the community where FBAs are now defending tethers, but when it's ready and convenient, they're racist towards Black people that are not or have parents that are immigrants. So if you're a Jamaican brother, a Jamaican sister, Trinidadian, Guyanese, Panamanian, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Haitian, if you're from anywhere in the Caribbean, according to the FBA community on social media, they see you as a tether. And a tether is a racial slur that they call you out of hate. They do this to me all the time. And I'm American. My mom is from Panama. So you could say I'm a Pan American, but it is what it is. My father's American, served in the U.S. military, Army vet. And no matter what I say, they call me a tether. So they don't even live by their truth. Because if a tether is a person who is outside of the fold, why would they call me a tether? So the truth is, it's all self-hate. It's all racism, no matter how you see it. It's one thing if I was a person who is outside of the fold, then you'll be justified. But if I was born in America, have a birth certificate, my father was born in America, and he served in the U.S. military, then you cannot call me a tether by your own rules. But you do anyway because you hate me because of my views. So what does that make you? It makes you a racist. So you don't even live by your own truth. So if I'm a tether, then it doesn't make sense for this man to be defending a tether who is Somali. The child is Somalian. They're not Black. So where's the justification in going after the white woman? And yeah, the white woman is wrong. It's not a bad thing that this gentleman is speaking against the racist, but I'm looking at the principal thing here. Yes, it's okay to call out the white racist, but you're calling her out in defense of a Somali who is a tether according to your own belief system. Why the hypocrisy? Come on now. I'm looking at the racism. I'm looking at the hypocrisy here. If you're going to be real to the people. Don't be a hypocrite. And see, those of you folks that are from the FBA community, as much as you hate me, you got to agree and say, you know what? You're right, Ringo. He shouldn't be defending a Somali. That's hypocrisy because he calls you a Tether. So why would he be defending a Somali? If that's the case, you should be defending all Africans. If that's the case, any African that is experiencing racism, then FBA should be defending them. Am I right? Or y'all just gonna just say, oh, Ringo, you're a Tether because you just hate me. Be real for a change. Be an adult. Be real. Stop being fake. You know what I mean? You can hate me all you want. I don't care. You don't help me with nothing. You don't support the platform. Remember? All I'm saying is, if you're going to be true to what you believe, be real. Be real. If you're a real FBA, you shouldn't be focused on none of this other nonsense. You know? You're supposed to be focusing on what's real. You shouldn't be out here being fake. No, it don't even make no sense. You're supposed to be focusing on things that matter. Truth. That's what you're supposed to be focusing on. You see? But no, we hate each other. And this is why black people in America is never going to rise at any level, because there's so much hatred within. We hate each other so bad. Look, I don't even trust my own people because all I get is hate from them. I don't trust them. Not at all. I don't trust white people either, just in case you want to go there. I don't trust nobody but the Most High, because human beings are inherently evil. They're evil by nature. You can't trust them. They switch up. They get jealous easy. You do something good, they ready to attack you. They're always trying to crucify you. They're always lying on you. They spread rumors about you. They gossip about you. They're always being talebearers, and they sit together and they wallow in their sin. They're evil. Pure evil. If somebody came to me and said, hey, if we could leave you on an island for 5 years, what nationality of people you want on the island? Just me and my family. That's it. I don't want nobody there. I don't want nobody there, because if nobody's there, there won't be no problems. If there's nobody there, there will be no problems. It's when you get around people is when all the problems start. And it doesn't matter. You get around white folk, black folk, problems begin because of jealousy, envy, hate. You know, religious beliefs. It all comes in and people just switch up on you and they start attacking you. You know, it's just sick. So this woman gained 629,000. It's probably at 630,000. I'm gonna double check right now. I'm gonna double check because I'm literally showing you guys that people are, yeah, it went up again, another 1,000. Let me put the screenshot. Let me put the screenshot out there so you guys can see. They're literally making this woman rich, bro. That's sick, man. We live in a sick world. This world is sad, bro. And this is why you can't take human beings serious, man. You really can't. All the people that hate me, I laugh. You folks are wasting your damn time. Your life ain't going nowhere. Your life sucks. You're focused on me. I'm not focused on you. I've learned that a long time ago. Not to focus on the devil. The devil is wasting their time. They try to get you to focus on them. I'm not focused on you. You focused on me. You're giving me your energy. That's all you're doing. I'm not giving you mine. Let me show you this screenshot, guys. Check it out. Think about it, guys. From when I started the live stream. Guys, it was at 624,000. Now it's at 630,000. Are y'all seeing this? This is how racists are able to thrive. But it's not just racists, it's black racists too. Black racists can start GoFundMes too. We saw that with the Carmelo Anthony situation. A man who's a murderer, a killer. And he was able to raise $500,000. So on both sides, we see the same evil, guys. And the black folk, they're upset with me because I don't support Carmelo Anthony. Why would I support a killer? He's a murderer. No, I'm not supporting that. Well, you're a traitor. You're a coon. You could call me whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not going to support a killer. You know, I don't support murderers and killers. I support truth. I support justice. You know? And it's so funny. The black community is upset with me because I don't want to support Carmelo. But you know what's so funny? Even if I, let's say, for example, I was a flip-flopper and I flip and flop and start supporting Carmelo Anthony, the black community still hate me. So it doesn't make no sense. You know? It's like, even though I'm doing this video, they still don't like me. It doesn't matter. We have racists, both foreign and domestic, guys. That's why I tell you folks that you got to roll solo, focus on your family, your personal business, and stop putting your trust in people, because people going to let you down. Black folk will never support you unless you kill a white person. That's the only time they support you. Like a Carmelo. He can kill a white man and he gets support. But if Carmelo was just a regular black dude from the ghetto and got online and said, hey guys, I'm trying to go to college to get an education. I would like to support you guys to support my GoFundMe. I'm trying to raise, $300,000 for my education. You think the black community going to support that? Nope. The black community will never support a black kid going to college, but they'll support him if he kills somebody. Ain't that something? Imagine this person named Jordy is saying, wow, I can't believe he is saying these things, and you guys are eating it up. Well, why are you here? It doesn't even make no sense. It's like, why exactly are you here? You're here literally watching and listening and wasting your time being here. Does that make any sense? You're here watching me. You're watching the show. If you're upset with something, leave. You don't supposed to be watching me. You're supposed to be watching something else. And this is why I keep telling you guys, people, if you're the kind of person that live your life to please people, you'll never be able to live your life, because you'll be doing things in order to please people. I don't do what I do so that I can make you smile and be happy because I said what you wanted me to say. That's called ear tickling. I don't tickle people's ears. We don't do that over here. We just speak the truth straight, straight shooters. We don't sugarcoat. We don't play any games. We just say what needs to be said, because there are too many hypocrites that love lies. They love when you gaslight them and play these little games. We're not wasting our time with that, So at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to this particular case. This woman gained $630,000 so that she can move into a nice neighborhood, a nice house, and have a good time. And I switched the content to the live chat to subscriber only. So to all the trolls and everybody else, you got to subscribe to the channel now. You got to subscribe to the channel now. And yeah, you got to subscribe. Let me see. Okay, matter of fact, let's set it. You got to subscribe, but you got to wait 10. Yeah, subscriber mode, but you got to wait 10 minutes to subscribe. You got to wait 10 minutes before you can send a message. So to the trolls, in order to send a message now, you got to subscribe, and you have to basically wait 10 minutes each time. And I could set it even longer, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Because, you have these trolls that just keep coming here running their mouth. These are demons, ladies and gentlemen. These are literal demons. You don't, listen, have you ever seen me, ladies and gentlemen, in somebody's live chat acting the fool? You never see me do that. It's stupid. It makes no sense. You got to be a child, a lunatic, a nut job to be sitting online all day, running around the internet and live chat, starting channels and counts over and over just to post stupid stuff. You got to be a real stupid person. You got to be a sick person, man, with no damn life, bro. But anyway, and people like that don't follow the Bible. Matter of fact, none of these people follow the Bible, bro. Like, none of them do. People are jokes, bro. I'm wasting my time with none of that garbage, man. Anyway, guys, let's get back to the content. Let's go.
Did you call him a child? Did you call the child the N-word?
If you want to know what to do, I have updates on Shiloh Hendrix, the adult woman I'm sure we've all heard by now who attacked a black autistic child on the playground.
A Somali child. Let's just call it what it is, Somali, because we just throw everybody in black. No, Somalis are not so-called African Americans. They're not. Right? They're Somali. So we need to identify people for who they are. Because when they say black, what it does is it creates racial tension in America. And see, this is what I don't like about social media is that they label the child black. Thankfully, the New York Post made it very clear that this child is Somali. That way we can know who's who, because it should be Somalis that should be going wild online about this situation. They should be online really making content. They're supposed to be speaking against this. But what I find is a lot of African Americans are online doing the work that the Somalis are supposed to be doing. Make that make sense. But when there are injustices against so-called African Americans, do you see Somalis online making videos defending black people? No, they don't. And this is why we have to stop with the selective outrage and act like we're defending the world. I'm defending truth. For me, it's about speaking truth. What I'm speaking against is these racist blacks who jumped on board this topic because they thought it was an African-American child. That's the only reason why they made videos, because they thought it was an African-American child. If it's a Somali child, the Somali people supposed to be speaking against this situation. Am I right? They should be speaking against this situation. It shouldn't be. And I'm not saying that black Americans can't speak against it. What I'm saying is, where is the outrage from the Somali community? Where is the outrage from the Somali community? Where are the Somali content creators? Where are the Somali platforms and content creators and influencers? Where are they to speak out against this situation? Because it seems like black folk are always the ones who get up and fight for everybody else's rights and freedom. But when it comes to us, right, and the injustices done to us, I don't see no other groups fighting for us. You know? Let me see. At Crazy Goose says, no, I just see an innocent little human being who was verbally abused for their skin color. I get what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying is what I'm saying, right? I agree with what you're saying. Let me see if I could clarify myself even more, right? Just in case you just walked in. What I'm mainly speaking on is there's a group of people that are on social media, because they live on social media, that call themselves FBA. FBA stands for Foundational Black Americans. This particular group is a hate group. They believe that anybody that is not connected to their lineage in terms of American slavery, your parents have to be Americans and they can trace their lineage back to American slavery. If they're immigrants, right, they're considered tethers, which is a racial slur that FBAs use against these particular people. So if you're Jamaican, if you're Panamanian, if you're anybody that's on the outside, you're considered a tether, right? Now, my point is this particular content creator made a video defending the Somali child. Now, according to his belief system, according to FBA, they don't defend tethers. They just don't do that. That go against their religion, against their heritage, their lineage, whatever they want to call that mess. So my point is, yes, with me personally, I stand for justice no matter who the person is. Doesn't matter their skin color. I will fight for justice. That's just how I am as a content creator. I speak on all people's situations. But in the FBA community, they use anything that's race related to express their racism because they're a hate group. So on one side, you have the white woman here who is a racist, right? And her community is supporting her racism, right? They awarded her $630,000. But now in the black community, in the FBA community, which is another hate group, another racist organization, they don't like white people as well. They just don't. They don't. So the content that they do is designed to fuel hatred in black people. It's not about justice. It's not about speaking the truth. It's not about anything else other than maximizing hatred, increasing the hate in other blacks so that they can hate white people. So when we look at the story with this white woman attacking a Somali child, it will come across to the black community in America, you know, the FBA community, black Americans, African Americans. It'll make them think that one of their people were attacked by a racist. Do you understand? So now what that does, it increases their hate for white people. And that is what this particular content creator is trying to do. You understand? They didn't know that the child was Somali. They didn't know that. They just went with it because they wanted the black community to be outraged. And this is how social media creates wars and tension. This is why the Carmelo Anthony case was such big news. It's not because it was a situation of right versus wrong. It was a situation that involves a white kid and a black kid. And because of that, it became a public sensation. But every day in the black community, black kids are shooting and killing one another, and the black community never cares. Tyrone killed Marcus, and the black community don't raise no money. Why is that? Because they don't care when it's black on black crime. In the black community, you have black men that are unaliving their wives, killing their kids. And the black community don't raise money for nothing. They don't care. But when it involves a white person, all of a sudden now, we start to raise money. What that says about the black community. They only support black people when it involves whites. If it's a white cop that killed a black man, it's outrage. If a white kid had an attack against a black kid, it becomes headline news. And what social media does, it fuels racial tension. That's how they sell newspapers. That's how content creators are able to make money. That's how they make views. You know, that's how they're able to get a paycheck, by manipulating the people to take sides. But on my platform, I'm neutral. I just stand for truth. Just like when you had the situation with the Sonia situation where she got shot in the face by the racist white cop, I defended Sonia. When you had the Neely situation, the brother that was shot on the train, the Jordan Neely. No, he didn't get shot, excuse me. He got choked out on the train by the racist military guy. I defended Jordan Neely. The black community wasn't there to support me when I was defending black people. But because I disagree with the Carmelo Anthony situation, they call me a Tether and says I'm a coon and a Sambo. That's the love that I get. Isn't that amazing? Shout out to Brandon for the support, sponsoring the show. Brandon for the support. So showing love, fam. Showing love. Most people will not even see half of that money in a lifetime. Just to receive that money through a donation is wild to think of. That's what I'm saying. $630,000 to receive that overnight. To receive that kind of money overnight is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yet she got the support, guys. She got this kind of support. What that says, there are more racists in the world, guys. It's not just her. People mad at her, but she's not the only racist. We got to look at the pockets. Who's feeding it? Who's funding the racism? Because they're funding this. She's capitalizing off of racism. And she made an update. Let's see if we can read the update. Here's the update. It says update as of May 2nd, 2025. Hello. Where do I even begin? The overwhelming support that my family and myself have received is unbelievable. I've never felt so scared, yet reassured in my life. It's truly a whirlwind of emotions. We are currently doing okay. No one has been harmed, and we are getting by. We are taking the proper procedures in order to stay safe from these constant threats. I'm still very frightened, and I don't think I will feel safe until we have escaped completely. I am so grateful to all of you who have donated to my family. I never would have imagined that we would be supported to such an extreme. It still feels as if it's too good to be true, and it's all going to disappear. It's such a strange feeling to be living in a blissful dream and a nightmare simultaneously. Thank you all for your continuous support and love. We have to keep fighting for the safety of our families, not just mine. Imagine this demon. Imagine this demon of a person, this wicked individual, is playing the victim after attacking an autistic child. Imagine that. See, if I did that, I'll be in prison. If I did that, I'll be attacked and destroyed, lose my livelihood. Everything will be gone if I did that. Oh, Ringo TV attacked the autistic child. You see how that go? But because she's white, she's right. And she gets the support needed. Ain't that amazing? You could be racist and make literally $1 million. And I guarantee you, she's going to make $1 million, guys. The racist community is going to raise $1 million for her. They're going to. Yeah, that's white privilege for you. Now, to the white audience that is listening to the content, what exactly are you going to say about this situation? What exactly are you going to do about this situation? Do you support this situation? Did you donate to her? I want to know. I want to know from the white viewers that support Ringo TV, you watch the content, you subscribe to the channel. How do you feel about this situation? Do you believe that this is justified? Do you believe that this is okay to do to an autistic child? Do you do this in your own personal world? Do you call people the N-word when you get upset? You know? Because that woman should be fired from her job. Probably already did. You know what I'm saying? She should be fired from her job. They're supposed to locate where she worked. She should be fired. Nobody should be doing business with her, and nobody should have never supported her. And her fundraiser should have been reported. She shouldn't receive not $1, guys. I don't know why would anybody fundraise this. Nobody should be fundraising attacks on children. And what this tells me is that if a child is black, that child don't matter. Now, we know the child is Somali, but my point is, it doesn't matter what the child nationality is. It's a child. Nobody should be attacking children like this. Nobody. You know, it's disgusting. When I think about kids and people attacking kids like this, bro, that person should be in prison. It should be a crime. It should be, listen, it should be served. Listen, you're supposed to serve prison time for spewing racial slurs to a child. Why this woman is not in prison, y'all? Everybody should be pushing for this woman to be locked up in prison, and her children should be taken away. See, we're not focused on the real issue here. If she's spewing these kind of racial slurs to children, her children that she have, her two children is in danger. Her two children should be in child services, protective custody. She don't supposed to be no mom. She's a disgusting animal, guys. You understand? She should be reported. But you know what? People don't look at it that way. They look at her as a good mother. She's a horrible parent. Because if she's calling children this, then her children will be doing the same. Her children, she's going to teach them to call any child that look black the N-word. Anybody that supported her cause should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself to support that. All you FBA people that are fighting against her, you should be ashamed. Not because she's a racist or that it's wrong that you're fighting against her. You should be ashamed because as an FBA, you support that guy who is a racist. You support a guy that believes that everybody outside of FBA are tethers, but yet he's defending a Somali. Is there one FBA person that could come into this live chat and actually admit that this is not a good look? Is there one foundational black American that could come in here and literally say, yo, Ringo, you know what I mean? I don't agree with you, bruh. Like, I got issues with you. At the same time, you right. That dude is not supposed to be making videos defending Somalis. He's supposed to be focusing on his people and his lineage. And this is why I'm saying the whole FBA thing is a joke. Because you guys have selective outrage, and I warned you guys. I said content creators are here to make money. Let's just always listen. I'm going to put that out and I'm going to say it again. Content creators that are on social media, this is their job. This is their business. They're here to make money. So if they can make you become a racist and hate white people, that's how they're going to be able to pay their bills. That's how they make the hustle. If they did content and you didn't support them financially, they would not make content. Once you understand the play, once you understand the game, you'll recognize that. See, I'm a content creator that focuses on fair and balanced approach. I defend all people. I'm not one-sided. I don't rally the troops so they can hate people. I don't promote hate. I promote love. I promote truth. That's what I promote. And I don't get the support that I deserve. I don't even get the views that I deserve. You know, I got people that hate me because of my stance. I got black people that would love to kill me. Black people. They're supposed to be my people, but they hate me. That's why I don't trust them. You don't trust black people, Ringo? I don't trust black people. You have hard of hearing? I don't trust them. I don't. Because of the level of hate that I get. That's why I had to get out of the Black Hebrew Israelite cult. Those of you who remember all my content, where I would talk about you got to be a Hebrew Israelite, you got to get into the truth. I'm not with none of that stuff. I'm not with that stuff no more. I follow the Most High. I believe in the Bible, but I don't call myself a Hebrew Israelite no more. I'm done with that. I'm done. You know why? Because Black Hebrew Israelites are racist too. And they hate one another. You know? That's all they do. All they do is show hate towards their own people. I can't deal with that. There's no way you could tell me you following the Most High. There's no way you could tell me you practicing the Bible and you have so much hatred in your heart. You know? It don't make no sense. You cannot tell me. You cannot tell me that you love God and you hate your own brothers and sisters. You can't tell me that you do. That's why religion is BS. Religion is BS, guys. That's all it is. It's pure BS. Nobody's real. You got to judge people by their character. Find out who they are. That's how you're going to know who's who. Doesn't matter if they white or black, foreign or domestic. Racism is racism. You know? And all we have in today's day is a bunch of people causing division. If black people really supported one another, we'll be rocking with each other all day so that we can all grow and rise. All the black people that hate me want to see me die. They want to see my kids starve. They want to see me homeless. How could you tell me you're a black person that love your people And you want to see me die. You want to see me starve. You got content creators that want to see me dead, bro. They want to see me die, y'all. Content creators, black content creators. They want to see me starve. They want to see me at the bottom. So think about that. There's no love with our people. Our people are evil, bro. I'm one of the only content creators that would tell you black people are more evil than anybody, bro. I don't care about listen, with all the racism in the world, all the evil in the world, black people, our own people are the most wicked people on the planet. We are. Because we express this hatred towards each other every day. And we turn a blind eye to everything. Think about how many black people die in the black community every day, getting shot and stabbed. Think about all the crime in Chicago, all the crime in LA, all the crime in New York, all the crime in all the states. Think about that. Think about all the black on black shootings and killings and stabbings and robbings. Think about all the evil. And black people have nothing to say about it. They just act like it's not real. But when a white person calls somebody an N-word, it become this big outrage on social media. Man, stop the damn hypocrisy, fam. Stop the hypocrisy. If you cared about this situation, if you cared about the N-word being a racial slur that much, as soon as you see a black man or a black woman use it on one another, you'll check them immediately. You'll check them sharply. And you'll express your disapproval right away. You ain't gonna get them no pass. You're gonna be like, yo, bro, what up, dog? Yo, don't use that word around me no more, bro. Don't ever call your people that word ever again. What do you mean, dog? We call each other. Don't ever call nobody that word again, bro. That's how you'll be moving. But you don't, because you're a coward. And you know that if you say that to another black man, it's gonna be on and popping. This is how I keep telling you that you're a hypocrite. A lot of black folk are hypocrites, bro. Hypocrites. Just be honest with yourself. Don't get mad at me. Be honest. You're a hypocrite. You have selective outrage. The only time you care about the N-word is when a white person say it. That's when it has meaning. But when a black person use it every day in rap music, call each other, yo, my ninja, yo, such and such, you have black women. I'm looking for a new, and they do this every day. And nobody says a word. Nobody says a word. You know? You live around black folk, you got to be worried about people robbing your house, robbing your car. Think about that, guys. You live in a predominantly black neighborhood, guys. You got to be worried about somebody trying to burglarize your house, rob your car. And you know who's doing it? Black people. But do the black community say anything? Of course not. Hypocrites. The white man is not going to the black community to rob nobody. They're not. White people do not go to the black community to rob houses. The black man does that. And yet the black community has nothing to say about it. And this is the hypocrisy that I cannot stand. And when I speak on this truth, I get called a coon. I get called a Sambo. But this is the truth. And they don't like to hear that. Because why? They don't like accountability. And you're wondering why our people were put in slavery. Don't blame the white man, because this is what black people do. Black people love to say the white man put us in slavery. Well, if you're so big and bad, how you let the white man put you in slavery? If the black man is so gangster and so thugged out, and he from the block and he got the shooters and the choppers, how is it that white people were able to put black people in slavery? Explain that to me. If the black man is such a king and so powerful and mighty, how is it that black people as an entire race was put into slavery? Could somebody answer that question? If black people are so strong, how is it that the white man was able to even put you in slavery? And why, when you were in slavery, you didn't literally fight the white man till the death to free yourselves? If you're so powerful. All I get is crickets after that. You see that? Because the one who put you in slavery is the Most High. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob put black people in slavery. And that's the truth black people don't want to acknowledge. You were put in slavery by the Most High. He put you in slavery. He sent the white man and gave him power to crush you. And even while in slavery, you didn't even fight back because you were fearful of your life being taken, which shows how much of a coward you really are, because you allowed your women to get raped, brutalized by the white man while you stood by. Black men in slavery stood by while their black women were raped. And none of the black men stood up. Imagine that, a bunch of black men enslaved, and you have one white man with a whip standing there, and y'all stood there while black women and black girls and boys were being raped and brutalized. And none of y'all sacrificed your lives for your people. But you got FBAs out here calling people tethers. Man, please sit down. Please sit down. And this is why black women don't respect black men in today's day, because they know that you're cowards. They know that. They know that you're not going to fight. You act tough towards one another. You act big and bad, but you live in the slums and the ghettos. You live in the hood and you struggle and you can't seem to build anything. But you got a problem with everybody else who's really building things. You're wondering why the black woman says, I got to go work for myself, to provide for myself, because I can't depend on a man. I don't blame her, because you ain't shit at the end of the day. You ain't standing on business, so the black woman got to stand on business. And you know what they're going to say now? Ringo, you're pandering to women. You're pandering to women. You guys make up excuses every single time. Anytime I speak, there's an excuse. You guys have more excuses than you could imagine. Even in the Bible, you made him an excuse. The Most High came to you. He came to Adam and said, Adam, where art thou? Oh, I hid myself. Why you hid yourself? The woman you gave me, she gave me the fruit. Rather than him be a man and say, you know what, Lord, I know you told me to guard the garden. I know you told me to keep out intruders, but I fell in sin. It was my fault. Please don't punish the woman. I'll take full responsibility for my actions of causing this issue. We know the black woman brought sin in the world because she took of the forbidden fruit. But I need for y'all to understand something. When Eve took of the forbidden fruit, even though she caused everything, it was until Adam took of the fruit when they realized they were naked. Which mean that if Adam would have caught on to what was going on and said, hold up, Eve, you took of the fruit that the Most High said not to touch? Yeah, I took of it. Why you do that? He said not to do that. Let me go to Most High. Most High, what's going on, Adam? Eve took of the forbidden fruit. I just caught her. She offered me some, but I didn't take none. How do we fix this situation? Well, Adam, because thou has hearkened to my word, I have forgiven you. Sin will not enter into the world. Sin would have never entered into the world, guys. If Adam would have never took of that fruit, sin would have never entered. The Most High would have fixed the situation and we'll be good right now. Because when Eve took of the fruit, she didn't walk up to Adam and said, hey, I'm naked. She didn't even know nothing. It was when Adam took of the fruit. And that's how the devil worked. He worked through the woman to get the man to rebel against God. So when you look at the black man today, the so-called black American man, the so-called FBA man, the so-called black Hebrew Israelite man, he's not following God. He's a hypocrite and he's out here perpetrating a fraud, and he's wondering why his women are out of order. Don't get mad with the black woman if you feel she out of order. Don't get mad with the black woman because you see her on OnlyFans. The only way she's able to thrive on OnlyFans is because your ass is signing up to OnlyFans, black man. Hypocrite. You're a damn hypocrite. How you out here trying to condemn the black woman for being on OnlyFans, throwing that thing back, but yet you signed up to the site? You're paying her money to see her toes. You're paying money to see her bend over. You're paying money to see her breasts, you damn hypocrite. This is the problem with black men. You out here trying to condemn the woman, but you out here perpetrating a fraud. How many black men that are watching this live right now is signed up to OnlyFans? Come on now. You can't be out here calling women 3-0 this and 304s and 3-0 whatever, and yet you signed up to the very site. You can't be calling these women 304s and you watching the corn sites. Come on now. Stop being a damn hypocrite. Be a leader in the community. A lot of black men are not leading the community. They're not. That's why there's crime in the community. How is it that you from the hood, you in the black community as a black man, and there's crime? Shouldn't you be policing the neighborhood? The white man police his neighborhood. Oh yeah, the white man police his community. The white man. The white man is not going to tolerate a black man coming in to sell drugs. It's not going to happen. You go to any predominantly black community, white community, and let a black man come in there trying to sell drugs. The white man will press him. They'll have guns on hand, and they will have the law and everybody enforced to push that Negro out. It's not going to go down. So why is it that in the black community, the black man is not cleaning up his own community? Instead, he's waiting for the white man to do it. And you expect black women to take us serious, guys? You're expecting black women to respect us brothers when we don't even know how to clean up the community. We don't even know how to rid the community of crime. We don't know how to rid it of the drugs and the gangs. But yet we want to fight for reparations. You ain't never getting reparations, so stop it, please. And the black woman is never going to respect you. Because why? You're not being a man. We failed even in the Garden of Eden when we try to throw the black woman under the bus. That's what Adam did, guys. He threw the black woman under the bus rather than taking accountability for being a man. The Most High called him to protect the garden from intruders. It's all in the Bible. The woman is considered the weaker vessel. So if the woman is falling short, it's your job as a man to protect the woman. That's your job as a man. Why are you waiting for the white man to come clean up the black community? That's not his job. He don't live there. All the crime that's going on in the hood, black men are supposed to be out there literally policing the community, setting order with these YNs. Y'all supposed to be doing that, but you know what? You scared of the YNs. You're a bunch of damn cowards. You ain't doing a damn thing for the black community, but you want to talk about racism. Solve racism in your own communities. Black people suffer from internalized racism. That's what they suffer from. Internalized racism. But instead, you'll focus on this woman. Yeah, she's a racist, all right. Definitely a racist. And she hates black people with a passion. I know she do. She did wrong. At the same time, why is there such a selective outrage though? Why? We supposed to stand on truth. You know, don't be a hypocrite about this. You know, I don't blame any black woman for feeling some type of way about black men. You have a right to. You have a right to. I said you have a right to. You know why? Because black men in today's day have dropped the ball when it comes to leadership. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. And instead, the only thing the black man is focused on right now is pussy. That's it. And I got to keep it raw and uncut. But that's the only thing the black man seems to be focused on right now. Is seeing what woman he can smash. He's not focused on building nothing. And this is why you ladies need to keep your damn legs closed and stop entertaining these damn ninjas that ain't about nothing. If he's not standing on business, leave him alone. He's just another ninja who just want to screw, to put another baby in you and then leave you. You judge a man by his character. You know what I mean? And remember, I got 4 daughters. So when I talk, I'm keeping it a buck with you. Same talk I give you, same talk I get in. If they want to go out there and mess around with some damn ninja and end up getting pregnant and knocked up, they on their own. They're going to have to deal with that mess on their own. Because I ain't taking care of no other kids that's coming in this world out of wedlock. I'm not doing it. They're going to have to take care of their own kids, get their own place, and be grown. You know? There got to come a time when the women got to recognize the real. I ain't saying hate black men. What I'm saying is protect yourself. And don't get caught up. You don't supposed to be taking care of no man. If that man ain't getting off his damn ass to go out there and work and provide for himself, you don't supposed to be providing nothing. Nothing. You did that already. Look where it got you. How many of you ladies at the sound of my voice did that already? You tried doing that. You tried to be that good woman, figuring, okay, I'm helping a brother. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Loaning my car. And what did it get you? Nowhere. So don't do it. Let him fend for himself. Let him figure it out. If he can't figure it out on his own, if he's not showing good character, leave him alone. Stop opening your legs for dogs. Stop opening yourself up to men that hate their own people. If you're a black woman and you're hanging around black men that hate their own people, you need to leave him alone because he hate you too. We supposed to be showing love to one another, but what we do is we show hate. And we do it all day. Some people live to hate all day. They can't live without hate. You know? They can't live without hating people. I'm not cut from that cloth, man. Forget that. That's a waste of time. That's counterproductive. It's not making me go nowhere. I'm losing. I know we got races in the world. I know we got people that hate people in the world. But I just stay to myself. I don't look at one particular race as if though, oh, they're more nice than black people. I don't do that mess. All races are wicked, in my opinion. All of them. All of them got their bad apples. That doesn't mean that all people are evil now. Just like you have good black folk, you got good white folk. You got good people in all ethnic groups. But what I'm saying is roll solo and understand that racism still exists and it's on all sides. It's not just on the white side. Black people are just as racist as white people because the people that hate me the most is my own people. And I feel weird saying my people because there's no way they could be my people and they have this much hate. And these people are not even afraid that the fact that on Judgment Day, you got to give an account for all of that. On Judgment Day, you got to give an account for the level of hate that you expressed. So when I see that these people don't have no fear of God, it's crazy. It tells me they don't follow God. Because the Messiah going to say, depart from me, you worker of iniquity. I never knew you. How could you even try to enter in the kingdom and you're full of hate for your own people? The Most High ain't going to have you come in there. No, it's not. It's not happening. You're full of evil. You could be the nicest person on earth and people will still hate you. How many of you people at the sound of my voice, you're a very good person. You're very kind. You're cool. You treat everybody with respect and you still get hated by people for no reason. It's crazy. And it just gets you to the point where you're like, look, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not wasting no more time. I'm not trying to interact. I'm not trying to do nothing. I'm at the point now where I ain't saying nothing to nobody if nobody don't say nothing to me. I ain't saying nothing to your kids if you don't say nothing to me. Because people are weird nowadays. And it's not the kids' fault. Sometimes you got kids that they try to be respectful. They try to be nice. And they'll say hi or hello. And you know, the polite thing to do is say hello back. But what I noticed that in today's day, a lot of parents, it's like they're sick in their head. And they train the kids to be wicked just like them. And it's just sick. So it's like nowadays you can't even say hi to people's kids because they look at you as if though you're weird or something. So for me as of, right now, even though it's not even just right now, like this recently been started and I'm just never responding to nobody. I don't got nothing to say to nobody. The only way I'll speak to people is if they say something to me. If you strike up a conversation with me and show yourself to be respectful, I'll respond to you. But other than that, I'm not saying nothing to nobody. Whether they're white or black, I don't got nothing to say to nobody. Because people are evil, people are racist, and people are wicked. And a lot of times, people have their own perception of how they see you based off of things they see and hear from others. And I don't like that type of stuff. Be a man and talk to me face to face. Be a man and address me for who I am. Don't be a hypocrite and do things on the sidelines because I can read people. I can read people very clear. You know what I mean? So if anything, that's the way I move. You know what I mean? You can call it whatever you want, but I only speak to people if they speak to me. Even in the community I live in. If you don't speak to me, I'm never speaking to you. Never. You could be right next to me and I wouldn't even say good morning. I'm not saying nothing to you if you don't say nothing to me, bro. Because people are weird, bro. People switch up. People will say good morning to you for a month. And then the next 3 months, they on some time of mess where it's like you could feel it. You could literally feel they're trying to avoid you. You could feel it, bruh. You can't, listen, people think that they can hide hate. You can't hide hate, fam. It's so evident and clear. It rubs off. You could feel it. You could feel the jealousy. You could feel the envy. You could feel that they despise you. You could feel that somebody was in their ear. Somebody told them something. They heard a rumor, a bad report, something, and they believe it. You know what I mean? It's real talk, man. So, hey, I'm going to get up on out of here, man. It is what it is. I shared my truth on this particular broadcast. The woman in question is a racist. At no point did I defend her. She's a racist. And what she did to that Somali child was wrong. All the people who donated to her are racist too. And you should be ashamed of yourself. This woman belongs in prison and her kids should be taken from her and put into child services because she's an unfit mother. Any mother that would call a child that is 5 years old and suffers from autism should be literally put in prison. Nobody should take this woman serious. She should be fired from her job, especially if she deals with children. It better not come out that her job involves with children. She needs to be fired. You know? She needs to be fired. She shouldn't be around children. You don't attack children like that. You don't call children N-words. That's traumatizing to a child. A child will remember that for the rest of their life. A child will remember that an adult called them the N-word, and that stuff will stick with them forever, and it'll make them hate white people. That child will end up developing a hatred for white people because of what she did. You know? So it is what it is, man. I'm going to get up on out of here, man. Got to take care of some business. It is what it is. So, hey, peace and blessings to everybody. Shout out to everybody that support the show, rock with the show. And I'll catch you all on the next stream. Come back on live later on. Shout out to Marilyn for the 15, Jose for the 8 on the Cash App. I'm gonna get up on out of here, man. To all the brothers and sisters out there, man, be very mindful of how the devil works. The devil loves to get your attention. The devil loves to make you become preoccupied with petty nonsense. He wants your attention so that you can give your energy to him. The best thing you can do is ignore the devil and focus on the goals that you have in your life. Focus on your greatness and continue to prosper and thrive. That is what kills the narcissist. The narcissists thrive off of being a thorn in your flesh. He tries to get attention from you. He tries to get a reaction out of you in order for you to focus on negativity. You can't focus on negativity when you have goals and you have a family to take care of. You got business to do. You got a job to do. You can't be focusing on all of that stuff. It'll drain your energy. And another thing is when you're in a particular line of business, especially if you're a content creator, all that does is distract you from your content. It distracts you from your goal. And your audience don't really want to see drama like that. Your audience want to see you thrive with your content. The audience do not want to see you going back and forth dealing with a bunch of bochinche and a bunch of nonsense. They don't want to see you dealing with that mess. So the best thing you can do is ignore the devil. The best thing you can do is be silent. The best thing you can do is focus on what you do best. And what that does, it kills the narcissist. The narcissist loses their mind. In your personal life, ladies and gentlemen, you got to ignore all the demons. You got to ignore all the people that are talking about you, gossiping about you, backbiting you. You got to ignore all of them. You know what I mean? Because when you do that, it kills them. It literally destroys them because they want you to react. They want you to get upset. They want to see you say something. They want to know that it's hurting you. They want to know that it's bothering you. No, you kill narcissists by ignoring them. So I'm out of here, man. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Ringo TV Reactions. Peace and blessings. We out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.